Hi everyone, it's Cassie from St Thomas Library here. Today I am going to show you how to make this really cute giraffe and tree craft. So it's like bringing the safari into your own home. So I'm just going to start off by showing you what you're going to need. So I'm just going to put my giraffes and my tree up here. So for the giraffe, you're just going to need a piece of coloured A4 paper. I've actually run out of yellow, which is obviously the closest to a giraffe, but I think it's quite fun to have different colour giraffes anyway. So we're going to need a piece of coloured A4 paper, a ruler. We're going to have to do a little bit of measuring. Normally I'm not too keen on measuring things because I think it stifles creativity a bit, but we do need to do a little bit of accuracy, so you will need a ruler. You're going to need not being able to find it, you're going to need a pencil just to draw out your lines, and you are going to need a marker pen. You're also going to need to have a pencil to wrap some paper around, so it can be any old tatty pencil. So you can see that this one is missing its lead, but that's fine, so I'm just going to use that one. You want it to be round though, you don't want it to be one with any hard edges, so you want a round pencil. You're also going to need some trusty old glue, my trusty old Pritt stick there, a pair of scissors, and for the tree you're going to need some brown card. Now I've got A4 size here. It doesn't really matter what size you have. I'm using A4 because it will make the tree quite tall, and you're going to need 2 bits of that, and then for the leaves just some green paper. So quite nice straightforward resources for that one. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the giraffe. So I'm going to put these bits to one side for now, and what we need to start off with is the measuring bit. So for the body of our giraffe, it is actually just an oblong, okay, so you can see that there. But in order for it to fit properly together, you need to get quite accurate measurements, which is why I've said that we need to do some measuring. So normally I would do this with a pencil, but it doesn't show up very well on the camera, so I'm actually going to use a pen, but you might want to use a pencil instead. So the depth of the body of this one is about 6 centimetres. So we're going to start off by just measuring 6 centimetres along here. So along the short bit of the paper, measure 6 centimetres. Now this is my husband's ruler, so it's got lots of really strange measurements on it. Okay, that's the right way round. Okay, so 6 centimetres, there we go. And the same on the other side. And then we're just going to draw that line in, like that. And then what we're going to do, now with our giraffe, this bit is 4 centimetres wide and this bit is 6 centimetres wide. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure 4, then 6, then 4, then 6, and so on. So this is where I have to do maths. Now maths was always my worst subject, so I'm hoping that you're focusing better than I am. So the first bit we're going to do is 4 centimetres, so mark out 4. Then we need to add on 6 centimetres, so 6 plus 4, yep, you've got it, is 10. And then we need to add on 4, so 10 plus 4 is 14. And then we need to go for 6 again, so 14 plus 6 is 20. And then lastly, we need another 4 centimetres, so 20 plus 4 is 24. Whew. That was hard work. Okay, so now we're just going to go for the same again on the top, so we make sure we get our lines nice and straight. So again, we're going to do 4 centimetres, then 6, then another 4, then another 6, then another 4. Okay, and then we're just going to quickly draw our lines. I promise you this is the most boring bit, the rest of it's way more fun. So there we go. And we're just going to cut that out. Now we're not going to need this end bit here, but we're just going to cut the rest of it out. So here we go. There we go, so let's put that to one side. And then what we're going to do, these lines are here to show us where we need to fold. So, first of all, we're going to fold there at our 4 centimetres there. And then find our next line, fold along there. And our next line. And our next one. Okay, and now you can actually start to see it coming together. So what we're going to do is we're going to overlap the 2 end bits, overlap them like that, and now you can see that we've got our nice oblong shaped. Now, because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist like this, I'm going to fold mine the other way because I don't want these lines showing on the outside. So I'm going to very quickly fold them the other way, like that. There we go. That's now ready to go the other way round. So now we are going to draw our giraffe spots on. Now, giraffe spots are not round like a leopard or a sort of nice round shape. They've got a bit more of a sort of splodgy with sort of like slightly angular lines to them, which is quite a fun thing to draw because you get to be quite creative. So they're kind of like splotches rather than spots. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw those on, and you want to do all of it except this last bit here, because we're going to end up folding this, so you're not actually going to see it. So you don't need to do that bit, but do it on the rest of it. So what I mean by splotches is kind of like this. So you kind of start kind of doing a circle, but then you do sort of like funny sploppy bits like that. I'll just show it up to the camera a bit more, and then just colour it in. Now the reason I've put this blue thing underneath it is because I'm using a Sharpie pen, and Sharpie pens are actually permanent and they stain things, and this is my kitchen surface, so I think my husband would probably kill me because it took him about 6 months to build this kitchen, so he probably wouldn't be very happy if I drew giraffe spots all over it, which I think is kind of fair enough really. So you can do as many or as little as you like. You can do them the same size, different sizes. And of course you could kind of use this to make all sorts of animals. So you could use it to make a horse or a unicorn. That would be pretty fun. And you could use all sorts of decoration. So stripes would be quite fun. Or you could draw feathers on it. You could do all sorts of things. So once you've got this down, maybe you could make a whole kind of wild woodland full of interesting creatures. Now, I don't know about any of you, but one of the good things, one of the few, very few good things about lockdown has been that I've had more time to watch all of the birds and all the different animals that are around in the springtime. So we have got a lot of sparrows and starlings that live in our garden, and they've got fledglings at the moment, and they are constantly hungry. And I can tell you, being a starling mum does not look like fun. Those starlings are constantly hungry and shouting for food. Okay, nearly there. Do a little one there. Okay, I'm just about done. I might do another one down there. There we go. Okay, so now that we've done that bit, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create the legs. Now obviously giraffes have quite long legs. It's one of their distinguishing features, long legs and a long neck. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the piece of paper that we used earlier, see that's where that was, and we're going to use this bit to make our legs and our neck. Now because everybody is going to have a different size pencil, I'm not going to tell you what size to cut, but what you can do is you can get your pencil, just put it in there, put it at the end, and just start rolling the paper around it. And give yourself a bit of room and just sort of see how much you roughly think you'll need. So I think I'm going to need about that much. And then just give it a quick snip, and then you can cut the rest of it. And then you know how much you're going to need, and then you can cut the same length for the rest of them, so you can use that to go, oh, okay, that's how much I need, so I'm going to cut another one. And you don't have to be that accurate. Okay, and then once you've cut out all your, so you'll need 4 for the legs and 1 for the neck. And then when you've done that, you get your glue and you put lots of glue on one end, just one end like that. You get your pencil, and then you just roll it up like this. Just hold it for a few seconds just to make sure that the glue sets all right, especially along that crease. And then, ta-da! Got straw. Okay, now you're going to do that. I actually made mine a bit earlier because I thought that you probably wouldn't want to watch me make all of mine. So you can always pause this video and make yours. Okay, so these are some that I made earlier. And what you can do in order to get the little hoof bits on is, again, you can get your marker pen, and before you roll it up, just draw a line like that. Mine's gone a bit crazy. Well, that's all right. Before you roll it up, turn it over, put your glue along here, and then roll it up. There we go. Just going to hold it down for a few seconds. And there we go. And now you've got your leg with a hoof on it. So make sure that you have 4 legs with hooves and 1 long one. This is going to end up being the head and the neck. Okay. So the next bit we're going to do, put the head to one side for a minute. The next bit we're going to do is we're going to get our body, and on the wrong side, so you want the spots that you made facing downwards. And what you're going to do is on the shorter bit, so on the 4 centimetre bits, that's that bit and that bit, you want to, let me just make sure I get this the right way around. That's right. So on the plain bit, where you didn't draw anything, you want to put some glue down either side, so you can leave a bit of a gap in the middle. What you're going to do is you're going to glue one leg along there, stick it down, one leg along there. Give it a bit of a push down, but don't push too hard because you don't want to squish the nice circles that you made. And then you're going to do the same on this one here. So you leave this 6 centimetre one and you put it on here. Here we go. Press it down. And the next one. Okay. I'm just going to put that to one side for a second just for it to dry properly. And we're going to focus on making the head. So, the next bit for the head, I'm just going to put my pencil away because I don't need that anymore. So for the head, we're just going to get a piece of paper. So I am going to just cut that little extra bit off there. That's going to be long enough. And you just want a strip of paper like that. You can always adjust it if you're not sure, and it's going to end up sticking on like that as the head. I think mine might be a little bit too wide, so I'm just going to make it a little bit less wide. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly test it. Yeah, I think that looks a bit better. And then obviously he's going to need some ears, and giraffes have, I haven't looked this up, I should have done that, they've got these bits here, sort of like knobbly bits. I'm going to have to try and find out what they're called as well. Okay, so get another piece of your scrappy bit of paper and we're going to cut out some ears. So an ear shape, I'll just show you what kind of shape I'm going to go for. I'm going to draw it on so that you can see, but you might just be able to go ahead and draw it anyway. But you want to go for this kind of shape. Okay, mine's gone a little bit wonky, but you get the idea. Okay, just going to straighten that up a bit because that was a bit rubbish. And that's the good thing. You can draw it on one side and then you can turn it around so that you don't actually have to see that side. So yeah, that's better. Okay, actually they might be a little bit big. I'll just trim those up. Told you I was a bit of a perfectionist. Okay, yeah, I like those. Okay, so there's our ears, and we need our little, whatever those knobbly bits are called. So there you go, just find a thin bit of paper or cut a thin bit of paper, and what we're going to do is I'm just going to cut that in half. Okay, I might just make that slightly thinner. Okay, and then just draw on the black bit at the end. If anybody does know what these bits are called on a giraffe, I'd love to know. So you can always put it in the comments. If not, I'm going to look it up as soon as I've finished making this video. Okay, so hopefully you can see that okay. So it's just a straight bit with a little, just paint a bit of blue, black on the end. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a bit of glue on here, and we're going to stick that round about there. It's starting to look like an alien. And same on here. So I'm gluing it to the back of my piece of paper here. And then our ears are going to go over the top, like that. Right, so I'm just going to lift this up so that you can see it a bit better. Okay, so you've got these knobbly bits, that's what I'm going to call them, knobbly bits behind, and then the ears have gone over the top. And then I'm going to draw our eyes around about there. Obviously if you want to add anything else, like a smile or anything, You go for it. I'm just going to keep mine nice and simple and just keep mine as 2 eyes. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a bit of glue on each end. And we're going to put it like that. I'm just gluing it like this. Hello! Okay. Now, this should be nice and dry now, our body. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a nice lot of glue on this bit here. And we're going to glue those together so these two bits overlap. Oh, I've already managed to do it wrong. There we go. There we go, so that's the body. And then our neck is going to get glued in here. So put a nice generous amount of glue on the bottom of the neck there. And then it's going to go on the inside here. I might just need to hold it in place for a couple of seconds just to make sure that the glue is dry, is bonded. There we go. Now the last thing that he needs, oh he's a bit drunk. The last thing that he needs is a tail. So just get a piece of, I think I want a bit that's a bit longer. I'm going to just cut. How long do I want his tail to be? I think about down to here. So just again cut a little strip. But what I'm going to do is actually do a slight angle so that it's a bit thinner at the top than it is at the bottom. And then I'm just going to cut a few slits into it like that. And again, I'm going to get my marker pen and I'm just going to do some lines like that. They don't have to be very neat. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my pen to curl this around. Hold it for a few seconds so that you get a bit of a curl. There we go. You don't want too much of a curl for a giraffe, but a little bit is good. And then we're just going to glue that on like that. Okay, and that's our giraffe. There we go. Mine's still a little bit drunk, but he's pretty good. Right, so he's going to have a munch on the leaves of this tree while we make our tree. Just trim his hoof. Okay. Right, so the tree. We are going to, I don't think I need this anymore, so I'm just going to move it out of the way. So the tree, nice and simple. So we're going to get our paper and we're going to fold it in half. Got glue everywhere. I'm going to fold it in half. Fold both of them in half. Okay. So we've got two folded bits of paper like this, and what we're going to do is we're going to glue them together so that when they fold out, they make a sort of 3 bits like this. So, glue's glued together. So make sure you give it a good gluing. I literally think Prick Stick is one of the greatest craft inventions ever. Okay, and then just stick them together. Okay, so you can see that it's now stuck together like that. And then what we're going to do is draw half of a tree. So, let me get my pen. I'm going to start. Obviously you can draw this however you like, be as creative as you like, or you can just follow me. So I'm going to do that. A little branch coming out, and then so this is what my tree is going to be like. And then we're going to cut all of it together. All right. I actually decided that I don't like that bit, so I'm going to cut that out. Okay, so that's all cut out now. We'll just move all this stuff out of the way so that you can see. So that's that, and that means that when we fold it out, we have a tree. Okay, now what we're going to do now is add our leaves. Now I decided, rather than doing the traditional shape leaves like that, I would actually do clumps of leaves like this, so they're almost like cloud shaped. So get your green paper, and you can either just go for it and draw them freestyle, or you can draw them on first. So you can either draw shapes like that and cut them out, or just go ahead and cut the shapes out freestyle. And I would suggest doing ones of all different sizes and shapes as well, because you might want some smaller leaves, particularly at the bottom, and some larger ones to make the tree look different. So you can always place them out as you go along and see what you think of how they look. Stick that one at the top, like that. Maybe, yeah. A sort of longer, thinner one in the middle here. Like that. Yeah. And I might just put a little one here. And then you're just going to glue them on. Simple as that. Decided I think I might actually put that one there, give it a bit of a layering effect. Okay, so rather than make you sit and watch me cut out lots of leaves, which will actually be a bit boring, I'm going to leave it at that, because you get the idea and you can carry on doing that. And I'll just show you the one that I had already made. So you can see that I've put the leaves on all of the sides. You could even put some ones on the back as well if you wanted. And then that stands up and the giraffes can have a good old nibble of these leaves. So I am going to sign off now. I'm just going to quickly arrange this so that you can see it. So yeah, I hope you found that fun. I'm just going to see if I can turn this around so that, oh yeah, that you can see what it looks like when it's actually, sorry, ignore my plugs. This is in my kitchen. But yeah, so you can see, num 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 num, that you can enjoy your at-home safari with my drunk giraffe. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that. Please do post any pictures of the crafts that you've made. I'd love to see them. And you can do that by emailing us with the longest email address in the world, which is stthomas.library@librariesunlimited.org.uk. Or you can send us a message on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, or you can just post something in the comments. All right, have a great week, everybody. See you soon. Bye.